Yeah, when Michael Detroit, our executive producer, and Marcus Cox, the director of this production, first read through the script, they said that the only person they could imagine in this role was you. How does that is that like, oh, am I like
Am I
Continental
offended?
Express? Am I like camp? Like how do you take that?
Well, on the one hand, it's extremely flattering to be thought of so quickly, so readily. In fact, it was Dave Landis was in the mix as well. So Marcus read the show, handed it to Mike. Mike read the show, gave it to Dave, and within 30 minutes, all three of them were standing in my office, just staring at me, going, "Somebody wrote a play about you." Now, Cindy Lou Who is not doing very well as she has come up on the age of 45. She's dabbling with a little too many substances. She's just gotten out of jail. She lives in a trailer park. You know, not to be classist, nothing wrong with a trailer park, but when three of your peers look at you and say, "This really messed up person is you," that's interesting. But no, it didn't hurt my feelings. So no, I don't find it offensive at all.
Well, I do know that there are lots of people in the Memphis theater community and Memphis as a whole who are deeply in love with you and are always excited to see what you do next. I feel the same way. I'm very excited to see you be on this stage for an hour delivering what I expect to be nothing but camp excellence to be put down in Playhouse history.
I hope so.
But a part of that camp element is in the spectacle of it, which is where Amy comes in back for another scenic design, doing things for us. What was the last production you've done with Playhouse?
It would have been, oh my goodness.
Was it Shanktown?
Yes, it was Shanktown.
Okay. Yeah, what have you been up to since Shanktown?
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of scenic painting around town. I have been doing some set design work with like some of the high schools and other companies. So took some time off, that kind of thing.
Yeah. For the folks who don't know, who are just now listening or watching this little clip, Amy started off as an associate company member back in 2020, the forgotten year, stuck with us, doing designing and scenic painting for our digital productions, moving into season 53 when we moved back on stage for a live audience, and is now graduated from our program and actually recently just got married to our director of videography, Pedro Forster de Silva. So we're very fortunate to have you back. And I want to know what has been your approach for designing Who's Holiday in this space?
Yeah, the Memphian room is fun because it's tinier than any black box or any stage that I've designed on before. And just the kind of cabaret nature of this show, and of course the camp element. So it's been fun to squeeze a trailer on this tiny little stage that is tailored to Courtney's height and everything perfectly. So it works out well. Our director, Marcus, probably won't fit on the set because he is tall. And so any direction he gives you will have to be pointed. But yeah, it's been fun to kind of incorporate these Seussical elements, but then also, Cindy's, had some rough years, and it's not a child's production. So that kind of mesh of those two worlds has been really fun to play around with.
I am very enticed to see all of that. So I want to talk a minute about director Marcus Cox and what your two's collaboration has been with him throughout this process.
He's been great. When they first decided to do the show and then asked me to do it, Mike asked me who I thought should direct, who I would want leading me. And while there are many wonderful people I would love to spend 4 weeks with, Marcus, since he found it, since he had the first connection with it, I've known him for over 20 years. It just made sense that we finally work together in this capacity because he's never directed me before. And that seemed a little smarter than somebody who is actively my good, close, super best friend. Somebody like Anne-Marie Hall, who I love. Marcus has the ability to steer me away from my instincts. And he's smart about it, and he's thoughtful, and he's kind. You know, this script was written 2017, 2016. And a lot has happened since then. So there are some elements of the script that made me a little uncomfortable. And Marcus is such a great person to find the way to make it comfortable without losing the humor, without disrespecting the script. So he's been just amazing.
Yeah, as far as his initial idea for the set and kind of our collaboration in the very beginning, it was very much kind of both of us feeding off of each other, and he had some really great ideas that we've incorporated, and he's been a great person to set design for, because anytime I, present him with an idea or just a tweak or anything, he is really great about making his idea for the show very clear, and that gives me what I need to know to make the set what it needs to be, the practical elements and the fun elements, and we've had a lot of good idea bouncing off of one another, so it's been great.